Travel in 2025 isn't what it used to be. New rules, rising fees, and tech-driven changes are transforming how we move across borders. And if you're not paying attention, you could end up delayed, denied, or overcharged. Whether you're planning a summer vacation, a business trip, or your first post-pandemic adventure, this year brings a wave of updates that could seriously affect your plans. From digital passports and mandatory travel insurance to airline seat traps and hidden hotel fees, travelers are facing more red tape and more fine print than ever before. Even small oversights like forgetting your real ID or ignoring eco-taxes could turn a dream trip into a nightmare. But don't worry, this video has you covered. We've researched and broken down the top 10 travel changes in 2025 you need to know to stay ahead, save money, and travel smarter. Let's get into it before your next boarding pass becomes a problem. 1. Digital passports are rolling out fast. Say goodbye to the traditional paper passport. In 2025, several countries are rolling out digital passports, secure, biometric-based IDs stored on your smartphone. Australia, Finland, and Singapore are early adopters, and more nations are following. These digital credentials use facial recognition for faster, touchless border checks. But convenience comes with caveats. Not all airports accept them, and if your phone dies mid-journey, you're in trouble. There's also growing concern over data privacy, as your movements and identity are more trackable than ever. Plus, some countries may require both digital and physical passports during the transition phase. If you're traveling internationally this year, check what your destination accepts, and carry your traditional passport as backup. It might be faster, but it's not foolproof. And remember, even the most high-tech system can fail at the worst moment. Be smart, be prepared, and double-check compatibility before you fly. 2. Real ID deadline is here, US travelers. For US travelers, May 7th, 2025 is the final cutoff. You must have a real ID to board domestic flights. It's a federally compliant version of your state driver's license or ID, marked with a gold star. If yours doesn't have it, you'll need a passport or other TSA-approved form of ID, even for a short flight across state lines. Millions of Americans still don't have one. Don't wait for the last minute. The DMV process can be slow, and lines will only get worse as the deadline nears. Bring the correct documents, including proof of address and identity, to avoid delays. If you're traveling soon, double-check your ID now. You don't want to be the person stuck at TSA while your plane leaves the gate. It's one of the simplest changes of 2025, but one that could leave you grounded if ignored. 3rd, EU entry fees for Americans. Begin starting in 2025, US travelers visiting most European countries will need to register and pay for ETIS, the European Travel Information and Authorization System. It's not a visa, but it works like a digital security check. You'll pay a small fee, about $8, fill out a form online, and receive approval valid for 3 years. Sounds simple, but don't skip it. You must have this authorization before boarding your flight to the EU. If not, you'll be denied boarding or entry. It's being implemented across 30 countries, including France, Italy, and Spain. Processing is fast, but last-minute travelers could face issues. ETS is part of the EU's push to increase border security and track visitors better. It's easy to forget because Americans are used to visa-free European travel, but this small change could derail your trip if missed. Set a reminder, apply early, and keep your confirmation email handy. 4th, airline seating fees are rising. In 2025, basic economy might get you on the plane, but if you want to sit with your partner or family, expect to pay up. Airlines have ramped up seat selection fees, especially on international routes and budget carriers. In some cases, it's over $40 per seat, per flight. And if you don't pay, the airline assigns you a random seat, often far from your travel companions. Some even split families with young children unless you pay. What's worse, seat maps often hide which ones are free versus premium. Even window and aisle seats now come with a charge. To avoid frustration, always check seating policies before you buy. If you're traveling with others, consider upgrading to standard economy or a flexible fare that includes seat selection. The cheap ticket price may not be so cheap after you're done clicking. Transparency is low. Planning is everything. 5. AI baggage scanning at more airports. Airport security is getting a high-tech upgrade in 2025. Major hubs like JFK, Heathrow, and Dubai are now using AI-powered baggage scanners. These systems don't require you to remove laptops or liquids, which speeds things up, but they're also stricter. AI can detect vape pens, batteries, and items that older machines might have missed. Some travelers are getting bags flagged or denied for things they didn't even know were prohibited. Not all airports use the same tech, so what passes in one country might not fly in another. Always double-check the TSA and destination airport rules. AI systems are fast but unforgiving. If you're used to quick, minimalist travel, it's time to adjust. Airport security is entering a new era, and it's watching more closely than ever before. 6. Travel insurance is practically mandatory. In 2025, travel insurance is no longer optional, it's becoming mandatory in many destinations. Countries like Thailand, Chile, and the UAE now require proof of medical coverage before entry. Even where it's not legally required, it's strongly recommended. Unpredictable weather, political instability, and airline issues make insurance your safety net. Without it, one medical emergency or a flight cancellation could cost thousands. Look for policies covering trip delays, cancellations, health emergencies, and lost luggage. Some credit cards offer basic protection, but don't rely on them alone. Read the fine print. Immigration officers can now ask for proof at the airport. Don't risk being denied entry. In 2025, travel insurance isn't just smart, it's a ticket to peace of mind, protection, and in many cases, permission to travel at all. 7. Eco-taxes. Our increasing sustainability has gone mainstream, and now it's showing up in your travel bills. In 2025, eco-taxes are being added to everything from flights and hotel stays to rental cars. Countries like France, Canada, and New Zealand lead the trend, charging $10 to $50 per traveler to offset environmental impact. Hotels are also introducing sustainability charges based on energy and water use. These fees often appear at checkout and can catch travelers off guard. You might see terms like climate levy or carbon offset buried in the fine print. If you want to save money and reduce your footprint, choose eco-certified accommodations, fly nonstop, and pack lighter. Green travel isn't a choice anymore, it's built into the system. Expect these fees to keep rising as governments push for cleaner tourism and responsible behavior from travelers around the globe. 8. Airline change fees are quietly returning. The flexibility airlines offered after COVID is slowly disappearing. In 2025, change fees are making a quiet comeback, especially for budget and international fares. Some airlines now charge $100 to $250 to change your flight, and others only offer free changes within a limited time window. Even flexible fares often come with surprise conditions or fare differences. This shift is frustrating travelers who assume flexibility still exists. If your plans aren't firm, consider a fare that includes free changes, or purchase travel insurance that covers cancellations. Budget airlines are the worst offenders, often hiding these rules in fine print. Always check the terms before clicking book. The days of stress-free rebooking are ending. If you're not careful, even minor itinerary changes could cost you big in 2025. 9. Global entry and TSA pre-check are slower to process thinking about applying for global entry or TSA pre-check in 2025. Start early. Application delays are now 3 to 6 months due to high demand and limited interview availability. Even renewals are affected. Some travelers are losing their status simply for not reapplying on time. Not all airports support these services either. Don't assume approval is fast. Check locations, documents, and timing. If you travel often, it's still worth it, but only if you plan months in advance. Miss the window, and you're stuck in the long security lines again. 10. Hidden hotel and resort fees. Our increasing hotels in 2025 are quietly tacking on massive hidden fees. You'll see a room listed for $150 but pay $200 plus after taxes, resort fees, and amenity charges for Wi-Fi or bottled water. Some hotels charge for services you don't even use, and you can't opt out. These surprise fees are especially common in Las Vegas, Hawaii, and major tourist cities. Booking sites often hide them until checkout. Always review the final price, not just the nightly rate. If it feels too cheap to be true, it probably is. Travel in 2025 is smarter, faster, and way more complex. But now you're ready. From digital passports to sneaky fees, you've got the knowledge to stay ahead and stress-free. If this helped you plan better, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Safe travels and smarter choices on your next big trip.